after the last episode of Gintama made us, well, feel incredibly warm-hearted and then shatter it all by, well, reverting everything back to its status quo. A beloved character is gone forever. But don't worry, we've got hundreds in the wings. Just wheel them out when they're needed. But with that Elizabeth arc over, we're moving on to something else, and I believe I saw a lot of snow. Wrap up warm, and let's begin. Oh no. There's a few words that you just don't need to see. So are we getting more mannequins, or just this slightly well-made miniature? Gotta make it back somewhere. So much, I was going to say hard work, but it's Gintama. Hard work is lost on them. But it went up in flames, fittingly. And despite it starting with the outro on the last one, we're not getting new songs. But if those mannequins cost them so much, which they shouldn't because they're mannequins, you could at least reuse them. Gintama is a show where I think it could both work quite well in live action format, but also fail horribly. I don't think the world is ready for live action Elizabeth. Well, it's good the fire department are on standby. At least someone's doing their job right. They're taking the day off. A snow day. Because we all know that crime stops when there's a light snow. Well, have we really seen them busy? Well, have a competition. Well, if he's so, against... If he was so against taking a vacation... That poor orange. Do you think someone should confiscate the ammunition from him? Well, yeah, in his day, schooling wasn't all too good. Good dodge. Just accept his kindness. Sometimes, is it really worth being in this organization? Ah, one more thing. Shogun. We know it's going to be a fun day whenever the Shogun's involved. Skiing. I've been snowboarding before. And it's quite easy to go arse over foot. Surprised I wasn't injured. Yeah, he's just been practicing. You're doing so well, Shogun. Look at that form. Yep. Any means necessary. Landing site clear. They're going to such extreme lengths. How do you like your day out snowboarding, Shogun? He strikes a pose. Oh, back to the top, but so it's less of a vacation, more, I would say babysitting, but ah. Using the only means necessary that he knows. Just force. However, yeah, including ordnance fire, explosives, humming of civilians, helicopters, it's so much safer. What's the... That's not a snowman. It does have some good snow, though. Good shot! Well, the Shogun was only on the underside of the helicopter, it's fine. He's a bit busy. You're on the ski lift. I think you're... Why doesn't he have the bar down? But also, his attention has wavered. It didn't take long. He likes it, doesn't he? This calls for one... Yeah. I guess he saved the Shogun? I hope nobody has their camera. Use your bodies to block. There's a slope there. They were saying about getting some good air before. Yeah, just leave, Condor. Hey, how much of a beginner do you need to be? That's a fancy snowboard he's got. Run! Yep, gotta get some speed up. I mean, how else are you going to get use out of them? I mean, the ride would be a little bit bumpy. You would hope to realize. And how do you exactly stop these runaway boards? It's almost as though there's a stop brake being applied. What could that be? We are learning some things about Kondo and the Shogun. It could be worse. Oh, you're in trouble now. The thing is, now you're sitting on like a sled, you can dig your feet in. What are you riding on? Did Shinpachi volunteer or something? At least he's enjoying it. Not something that you should say as a sibling. Ah, there's an issue there. Ah, that's like 87% of Shinpachi. Of course it's him. It's, the fact that she also seems seemingly completely unhurt, even though her face is being buried under that every time it rolls. Oh, hey there. The fact that they're passing at such a rate where we can see them as they're talking. They work well together. What kind of snow do they have on this mountain? Ah, okay. Here? Looks like there's going to be a lot of hospital fees in this episode. At least some doctor's going to have a lot of experience by the end of the day. Somehow they stopped. Ah. I'm. I don't think. Yeah. Go for the one that wasn't wearing clothes. That's might. You might have a better chance of finding the Shogun then. Nice background for his phone. Yeah, so a usual episode of Gintama. We've been in this situation like at least 8 times before. How exactly would you explain this one? Also, we might have to worry a little bit about Condor freezing his nubs off. Um, he's he's changed slightly. I'm now her way of thinking isn't wrong. You never got out of the snowball. Kasada, you do know your company, right? You know, if they leave him in the snowman, they can just arrest him. I mean, just follow the path of destruction and the brake lines. A good starting point, at least. Yeah, he wouldn't have too long in this kind of environment. I'm sure he'll do fine. Well, then, remember what I was saying. You could warm him up. Um, how exactly are you gonna make sure they're warm? He's just gonna end up with like a lot of like a single gloves. Yeah. At least frostbite on his fingers isn't gonna be an issue. Just everywhere else. Are you actually going to help? Luscious hair. You're giving him the snow helmet? Hmm. Are they going to actually make sure that the fire keeps burning? They really have just put themselves in this situation. And some of them seem perfectly content with it. That's a deep hole. Someone really needs to put the brakes on Gintama every once in a while. And at this point, I don't care if they have to use underwear to do it. When I first started this episode, I thought, I think I'd want to do some snowboarding again soon. Yeah, no. No. Just in case. They've already... So no signal. No one really knows where they are. They do have the other members of the Shinsengumi who are probably going to be out searching. There's a couple of places that the Shogun can actually be, and we all know that at the end of the day, he's going to thoroughly have enjoyed his little outing. Ah. Well, as long as they don't run into the Yeti or anything. Forced to take a vacation at gunpoint. Now, I'm not particularly overly attached to any kind of work to turn down that offer. But they are definitely going to have to use their own vacation days of this, aren't they? Nothing comes free. And this world really cares little about its civilians. Trying to enjoy a nice day out, skiing down a slope. Ah, there's the Shogun. Oh, there's the Shogun. Things are going to hit the fan soon. His view of what the common people do for fun is entirely accurate. But if you want to see a almost naked Condor searching through the snow for a missing Shogun, Poor boy, freezing his knackers off. But you best return for the next one. And if you don't want to see that, well, you should probably return for the next one anyway. Well, that's it for this episode of Gintama. We have to move on to the next one. And yes, no matter how hard you tug, I'm not stopping now. And I just realised how that sounds. Let's just move on. See you there. No matter how high the demand, they just won't introduce human snowboards. But if you really wish to ride something, consider joining onto my Patreon instead. Because Sal, Raywin, Electric Antafia, Noku, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Stinsfire, Big Boy Mats, Rasmus Paulson, Girly, Dynamite 1997, ASD, Dark Shadow 7899 and everyone else have their feet firmly planted on my back to let me know my place. There's no brakes on this train, so I hope you enjoy the ride.